To our Getting Started class for the December 2018 CFA Level 1 exam. Okay, this is an opportunity for you to find out more about the exam and the content of the program and how to prepare best so you pass the first time, I hope. And also an opportunity for you to ask any questions that you have, okay? So please feel free to interrupt me with any questions as we're going through. And we will also have time for questions at the end, okay? If you don't understand anything, please do stop me, okay? Otherwise, I'll just keep going because I won't know that you didn't understand. So you can either, if the guys online, you can either type in the chat box or you can unmute your microphone and just interrupt verbally, okay? So let's make a start. Just a little bit about us then. We are a finance school founded in 2014, and the first international certification that we offered is still CFA. We also now have introduced ACCA, which is Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, and that qualification is focused on people who want to work in accounting and auditing and finance departments, as opposed to CFA, which is more for people wanting to work in the financial markets. And we will talk about some of the most popular or common professions of CFA charter holders later on today. I think we're going to spend about 40 minutes going through information about the program, and then we'll have time for some questions at the end. Okay. I am the academic coordinator of the course, and I took the exams in London. I studied with BPP, which is actually a university in the UK, and they are specialists in providing training for CFA. So we use some of their materials on the course, and all students receive a book of practice exams from BPP. I was also the coordinator at the CFA Society prep course when it was at ANBIMA a few years ago. So I've got a lot of experience in this area, and that means you are in safe hands, okay? We also have an online option, live online option for the classes. So just like you're joining the class today, that's how it will be for the classes themselves once they start in the prep course. So we will have students in the classroom as well as students online. And just to show you again the classroom, this is what the classroom looks like. Okay, so you can see out towards the classroom, and then behind, just where the camera is the TV screen. So we've got students in the classroom looking at the TV screen, and then students joining the same class online. Okay, so that works quite well for people who are not here in Sao Paulo, or who find it difficult to get to our school on Avenida Paulista. Okay, and also actually we find some of the students who want to come here into the classroom sometimes join us online due to work commitments or for other reasons. They're unable to get to the class. Okay. So what do we offer that's different? As well as the flexible learning options with the live online as well as face-to-face option, we have in-company courses as well. We have small classes, and we have a maximum of 10 students, around 10 students in the classes. So that means that we can offer you more support, which is particularly important for preparation for exams like CFA, which are quite difficult exams. There's a lot of work to be done, and you need help with the study discipline and with technical questions as well, but a large part of it is actually having the study discipline and working through the program. Okay, so we help a lot with that, giving additional support. We also have other courses in English, advanced English language communication skills courses. We have highly qualified tutors, so all of our tutors for the CFA have passed the exams they teach. Okay, so they may not be CFA charter holders yet, but if they're not, they will have passed level 1 if they're teaching the level 1 course. Okay. And then we have study material of international quality and a proven study methodology. So I will talk a little bit about the study methodology today, and also the study materials which are included in the course. Nothing is additional, so all of the material is already included in the course, everything you need in order to be successful in the exam. Okay. So just a little summary we have courses in business valuation, financial English, finance and accountancy, and within finance we've got CFA, which is our professional course. Face-to-face, live online, in-company options. Okay, and we also offer free events like this one, so free classes, free palestras for people to find out more about for people to find out more about the different courses, different areas of knowledge. Okay, so here we are in the CFA Getting Class Starter class. It could be you might be interested in other classes as well. And everyone who is joining this class will get a 10% discount on the CFA prep course if you decide to join. Okay, to join us. Our headquarters, we are located at the Consolação subway station at Paulista Avenue 2202. And our facilities are prepared for executive education. I've just shown you the room. So we've got a kitchen with tea and coffee. We've got flat screen televisions to project the materials, air conditioning, and comfortable chairs and tables. Okay. And then just some pictures from some previous courses and lectures. This one up here is a business valuation course that we had in this classroom. And you can see the students with their computers and their certificates. And we had a couple of students online as well. And this was a visit from Rania Majid and Afra from ACCA in London. They came to us and met some students. This one here was a lecture that I gave about careers in finance at Mackenzie University, and this was an English course that we gave at INSPA. Okay, so just to get a bit of a sense of who we are. Instructors and lecturers, so we have various different instructors who are all professionals, all experts in their fields. These are just some of the links to organisations that we have. We are the only ACCA Silver Learning Partner in Brazil and the first to offer courses in preparation for ACCA and CFA Institute exams live online. Okay, so we are an expert in that area. Our tutors are all trained through the SHP Financial Training Academy, which is our own training course for teachers. And all of the teachers have professional experience in the financial markets and have passed the exams that they prepare students for. Okay, so we really do focus on the quality. So a little bit about me. I'm the founder and the academic coordinator of the courses at SHP Financial Training. I have 3 years of full-time experience and 10 years of professional experience at EY, Ernst & Young, in the United Kingdom and in Brazil as well, and also at the Bank of England, which is the UK central bank. And I worked in internal and external assurance contingency planning for financial institutions in financial distress and business valuation. So my undergraduate degree is in economics and management from Oxford University, and after finishing my undergraduate degree I got a training contract at EY and I studied chartered accountancy for 3 years. And then after that, when I moved to the Bank of England, I studied for the CFA exams because I wanted to not only have the accounting knowledge, I wanted to understand financial markets as well. So I took the CFA exams when I was there. And then I moved to Brazil and I did some more exams in valuation, and I was the coordinator of the CFA prep course at Anbima. I also have a couple of additional certificates in international financial reporting, and certificate of English language teaching to adults. Okay, so quite a strong background for teaching and education, okay, which is why I do what I do. And I'm happy to help anyone with any questions about working in any of those areas. Okay. We have a committee of directors of SHP Financial Training who provide some guidance, strategic guidance for the school, which is very helpful. Okay. We also have a team, I mentioned before the tutors, we have a team of around 20 tutors, and they all have professional experience in the fields, in the areas that they teach. They're certified as teachers through the SHP Training Academy, and they really act as coaches because we have small groups and they really have personal interaction with each individual student. So we've got a nice piece of feedback from Lucas about the teachers being exceptional, real coaches during the preparation for the exam. So with Lucas in particular, with all students, we give you individual feedback on your practice exams so you can identify your weaker areas, and that really helped Lucas to pass the level 1 and level 2 exam actually for CFA. So we can help you also with networking and access to job opportunities and events with local and international speakers that we also organise. And just a few of our teachers, Raphael, he has 10 years of experience in different positions. He is mostly responsible he's a fund manager. Okay. He's a CFA charter and a CFP, Chartered Financial Planner. And then Antonio Luz, and you can see their CVs here, but he has 10 years of professional experience particularly in distressed credit, and structured finance, investment banking. He's had some different roles in those areas. He also has the CGA, which is one of the certificates from Ambima for fund managers. And then we have Clarice or Clarice, who is studying for her PhD at INSPA. She's done level 1 of the exam. She's an excellent teacher, however, even though she's not yet a CFA charter holder. She has passed level 1. She knows what you will be working towards. Okay. And then Theo Martins, who works at the Central Bank of Brazil, and he is also a lecturer at INSPA, as well as teaching for us. Okay. Cesar Luz, I used to work for him at EY. He is an excellent professional. He loves taking exams. He's very good at them. Okay, he really knows how to help students focus on preparing and passing exams. And then Leticia Filgueras, who works at PwC as a senior manager in corporate finance. Okay, so our clients, we have actually now given 6 CFA preparation courses, and our students have always said in the feedback that they would recommend us to someone else. We've had students from these companies and banks in addition to others. Generally, our students, they're often from big organisations, because often it's people working for bigger organisations who are interested in CFA. So that's why you can see some big names here. And a bit more about why the CFA program. So it could be you haven't yet decided that you're going to go ahead with it. And why might you consider doing these exams? Well, you get real-world experience. Okay, the curriculum is updated every year, so it's relevant to what employers want. Every year, CFA Institute does a big survey of employers and other organisations in the finance world and updates the curriculum on the basis of what they need people to know. Okay, so it's up-to-date, real-world expertise. Career recognition, okay, so you get credibility by completing this program. The exams are not easy. The whole program it really isn't easy, and it's possible, it's manageable as long as you focus on the right things and you work consistently while you're preparing. But people recognise that you've really reached got a very strong knowledge base after you've worked through this program, so you will get recognition for that. There is also part of ethics. 15% of each exam focuses on ethics, so you are proving that you have got good ethical foundations as a result of going through the program. You will also be part of a global community of investment professionals, and there are some excellent events that are organised by CFA Institute, which is the global body, and by the local CFA society. So we have the CFA Society in Brazil, which organises events here in Brazil, in different cities around Brazil, and some of those events are really good for networking, also for updating your skills, your knowledge, because speakers will come and give you an update on a certain area. And then employer demand. So the top 11 global employers of charter holders include JP Morgan, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, UBS, RBC, Royal Bank of Canada, HSBC, Wells Fargo, Credit Suisse, Morgan Stanley, Smith Barney, BlackRock, and Citigroup. Okay, many of them are in Brazil. And you'll notice, I don't know if you're looking at job adverts, but many job adverts will say that it's desirable for you to be in Brazil, desirable for you to be a candidate in the CFA program or a CFA charter holder. Okay, so there really is employer demand for CFA. So what will you learn? There are 3 levels of the exams, so 3 exams, and each one has a slightly different focus. Okay, so we've got investment tools at level 1. All of the tools you need in order to analyse investments. Okay, so it focuses particularly on financial reporting and analysis, quant economics, corporate finance. Okay, those tools enable you to go into more depth into asset valuation at level 2. So you do get an introduction at level 1 to equity investments, fixed income, derivatives and alternatives, but at level 2 you will go more deeply into them. And then level 3 is focused a lot 55% on portfolio management and wealth planning. So that's when you bring all of your knowledge and ability to analyse investments together in order to recommend portfolios for clients. Okay, and they could be individual or institutional investors. And so we're talking at level 1 about focusing on knowledge and comprehension, so your understanding of a broad range of topics. In each exam, all of these 10 topics are covered, okay, but they have different weightings in each exam, which we're going to see in a minute. So knowledge and comprehension is the focus at level 1. There's a lot to learn, so we give you lists of formulas and things to help you to learn what you need to know. Application and analysis at level 2, and synthesis and evaluation at level 3. So that's when you're producing recommendations regarding portfolios that are appropriate or suitable for certain clients. I think we already talked about the top employers of CFA charter holders. This is in Brazil, though, specifically. So Itaú, Citigroup, Franklin Templeton, Bank of Santander, Bradesco, JP Morgan, HSBC, which is no more, Bradesco, Credit Suisse, BTG Pactual, and Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Okay, so what jobs does CFA prepare you for? And you can see here the biggest box is portfolio manager. 23% in this survey that was done in January 2016, 23% of CFA charter holders said they were portfolio managers. 16% said they were research analysts. But then you have a variety of other professions which are represented. So we've got relationship managers, corporate financial or corporate finance analysts, financial advisors, risk managers, consultants, and C-level executives. Okay, so a whole load of different occupations of CFA charter holders, but many are portfolio managers or research analysts. And this is just included for reference, but you might be interested in looking at the Robert Half salary guide, and specifically the section on roles and salaries in the financial markets. So we've got traders here, portfolio managers, equity research, mergers and acquisitions, and project finance and structured finance. And you've got the average monthly salary a range of monthly salaries in 2016 and 2017. Okay, so you can just see here for the different roles in each of those areas what you might be expecting to earn. And then it continues here with risk and credit and risk, compliance and audit, etc., finance, relationship manager, and operations. Just to have an idea, I don't want to go into too much detail, but you can see the source here if you want to go back to it. Okay. So just I got a couple of testimonials from previous students. So Alversio, he actually took the exam himself on his own the first time. He spoke to his, and you can read this, but he spoke to his MBA colleagues who said that they thought he would pass the CFA level 1 exam without any problem the first time. But actually he failed the exam, and I think he thought mostly that was to do with the lack of the discipline that's imposed by going to classes, by keeping the momentum going. So he came to us the next time, and as he says here, I have no doubt that investing in the professional support and structure of the SHP's course was fundamental to my success, and I intend to take the course again for level 2. He has actually now passed level 2 as well, so he is one of our success stories. Okay. And then we've got another testimonial from Eduardo Campos, okay, and this one, so he just explains that the course is complete. We offer everything that you need in order to do well in the exam. Okay, and we focus a lot on study outside the classroom, so tips. We keep you on track with countdown emails. Okay, so it's all about keeping the focus, and I'm going to give you our 5 top tips for passing the exams later on. Okay. So if you haven't already, sign up for the exam. There is with CFA Institute, that has to be done directly with the CFA Institute, and there's a deadline of the 14th of March for what they call their first fee deadline. So after the 14th of March, the fees for the exam enrollment go up by $300. So if you sign up my pen is being a bit strange. If you sign up by the 14th of March, you will save $300 on the enrollment fee, which is really good, obviously. And they like to do that. So we also have lower fees for people who sign up earlier on our prep course. Okay, well, the reason for that is that people have a higher chance of success if they sign up earlier. So we really encourage people to sign up as soon as possible and to start studying as soon as possible. And you'll see later on when I talk about the class program that we are actually offering free bonus classes. We call them bonus classes to help people to start with the pre-course reading before the course officially starts in August. So, getting started, I'll talk in a bit more detail about the exam itself, your study plan, how you enroll, what material you get, then our methodology, the support that we give to people, and the 5 most valuable tips for passing the exams the first time, and then we'll have time for some questions at the end. Okay. So the exams, you've got level 1, level 2, and level 3. Level 1 you can do in June or December. You get 2 exams of 3 hours each, and each exam has 120 multiple choice questions. So you have 240 multiple choice questions in total. And I'm not going to go into detail into the other exams, but they are also two 3-hour exams. Level 2 you can do in June, and level 3 you do in June as well. Okay. And the minimum passing score is not publicised, so we don't know exactly what percentage you get to pass. I say to students to aim for 70% in the practice exams that they do. But CFA Institute does some kind of normalisation curve, and usually around 40% historically of people pass level 1. Okay, which doesn't seem very good, but that's because there are a lot of people who take the exam without really appreciating that they need to study, so they don't focus really on the studying. So as long as you go into the process with your eyes open and realise that you are going to have to dedicate quite a bit of time to studying, around 300 hours in total, then you are going to pass the exam. Okay, it is just a simple formula of focusing on the right things, keeping study discipline, and really wanting to take the exam. I think you have to be motivated enough, and I think that when you understand the benefits you'll get from it, you will find the motivation. Okay, so, what's the roadmap to getting the charter? First, you need to have a bachelor's degree, or the equivalent of one, or be in the final year of your bachelor's degree program. Then you enroll in the program, and there are, as I just mentioned, there are fee deadlines. So if you enroll earlier, you will pay less to enroll. Okay, then we do the level 1 exam either in June or December. The next one is actually in June, but I would not recommend signing up for that one now because you don't really have enough time to prepare. Okay, so the next one that we're talking about here is for the December 2018 sitting. Okay. Then there's the level 2 exam June the year after, and level 3 June the year after that. Okay, so if you start studying now, you can do the December 2018 level 1 exam and do our preparation course, which is starting basically now with this class for the exam. And then level 2 in June 2019. And we recommend students do an online course from BPP called BPP Momentum. It's a very good course that it's like a success achievement ladder. So you need to pass you need to pass one topic area before you can move on to the next one. Okay, so it helps you keep the study discipline as you would get from classes. And also there are lots of videos in the course. Okay. We recommend doing a prep course for level 1 because everything's new and you're getting used to the program, used to how it works, how to study, and you actually need to learn how to study, which might sound, I don't know if that makes you think, oh, I know how to study. Actually, people find that they don't always. So studying at home is something that is a skill, and it's not just that. The readings themselves, you get a lot of material from CFA Institute, so we need to help, we help students figure out how to approach the reading of that material, because the books are about that high when you get them, so you really need to focus on the most important things that are going to help you to pass the exam. So we help students a lot with building the skills they need in order to study effectively. Okay, and every student is different as well. because each student has a different background and is more familiar with certain topics, less familiar with other topics. Some students find the wordier areas easier, for example, ethics. Some people find the more mathematical areas easier, for example, quants. So it depends a bit on your background and what you enjoy doing, how much support, extra support you need in each different area. Okay, and then level 3, you would do in June 2020. Okay, and we offer a course for the constructed response paper. So there are 2 exams, as there are for all of the levels, 2 exams for level 3. And the AM, the morning paper, is a written paper, constructed response. And many students struggle with that, so we give extra support through a class which focuses on the exam technique in the written part of the paper. The afternoon paper is a multiple choice paper, okay, so it's just the morning one that people in particular struggle with. Okay. What else do you need? 4 years of relevant work experience, which you can do before, during, or after the exams. That's important to note. You don't have to have it already. And then there are a few other things that you need to do to get your charter, which are a professional conduct statement, join the CFA Institute, pay some member dues, and be a member in good standing, so don't do anything wrong. So those things are fairly straightforward. The tough thing is really preparing for the exams. Okay. So looking a bit more into what's in the exams, we've got the 10 different topic areas. You've got level 1, level 2, and level 3. And at level 1, 20%, that's the highest weighting, 20% of the exam is on financial reporting and analysis. Okay, so we actually have 5 classes in the teaching phase of our preparation course on financial reporting and analysis, because we found that students tend to need quite a bit of support in that area. We don't have many people who've already got a strong background in financial reporting and analysis. And it's such an important part of the exam, it is worth spending more time on it. And then at level 2, you can see we've got more weighting on the asset classes here. And then at level 3, we've got a higher 40 to 55% on portfolio management. So focusing on level 1, it will be on Saturday, the 1st of December 2018. There are 2 3-hour exams. The first one is from 9 AM till 12 PM on the 1st of December, and the second one is 2 PM until 5 PM, usually at Freikanecker Shopping Centre in Sao Paulo. Each paper consists of 120 freestanding multiple choice questions. Freestanding, so if you get the answer to one wrong, it doesn't impact the next question. Okay, and you have 1.5 minutes per question, so you have to be quite quick when you're working through the questions. All of the topics, all of these 10 topics, are examined in each paper in the same order. Okay, so that's what you need to be expecting. Okay. And the majority of the questions are not actually numerical. So they are testing your understanding of a concept. So they might test you know a formula, but not necessarily ask you to do a calculation based on it. Okay. So you need to show that you understand the concept, and you might also need to demonstrate to show that you have learned a key fact. So for example, in financial reporting and analysis, you need to know ratios. There are quite a few ratios to learn. Okay, so calculation questions in the minority. And I mentioned before about the just qualified candidate. So based on the pass mark is based on what you would, the minimum standard they would expect in that paper from what they call a just qualified candidate, someone who just made that minimum standard. And the 10-year average global pass rate is approximately 40% for level 1. It actually rises a bit for levels 2 and 3. Okay, but 40%, around 40% for level 1. So 40% of people taking an exam will pass it. Okay, so structure of the curriculum. We've got 58 readings, they are called, 58 chapters. And this is the material you get from CFA Institute when you sign up. So you get all of the material that you need to use at home to study from. So you've got 6 volumes, okay, of books, 6 books. And they are online unless you choose to have the printed versions. Okay, so volume 1, ethics and quants, so ethics and professional standards and quants, quantitative methods. Okay. Volume 2, economics, volume 3, financial reporting, etc. Okay, and then within those we have what we call learning outcome statements, which tell you what you need to know. So, for example, you need to be able to analyze an investment decision based on internal rate of return and net present value calculations, something like that. Okay, and then at the end of each reading, so at the beginning it says what the learning outcome statements, the learning outcomes are for the reading, what you should be able to do after you read it. And then you have practice questions at the end to test your knowledge. Okay, and so working through this is where you really develop study skills of focus and application. Okay, so focus on the learning outcome statements, what you need to know, and then focus on being able to apply the learning to practice questions, which is ultimately what you need to be able to do to answer the questions correctly in the exam. Okay, so what's our methodology? Learn, practice, and consolidate. Okay, so we do learning, we have the teaching phase of our prep course. Then we have practicing through revision, where we go over the material again and do lots of practice questions. And the practice questions are in the style of the questions you will get in the exam. And then we do mock exams or practice exams to consolidate your knowledge, so you get quick at recalling the knowledge you need under time pressure, under timed exam conditions. And we start with the Getting Started class, which is this class here. So approximately 1 hour class. And we have introduced 5 free classes on the pre-course reading. So what we've done is we have created these 5 additional classes, which are 1 a month until the prep course starts, until the classes in the evening start. And those are on Saturday mornings, just short classes of about an hour to make sure you are on track with the pre-course reading. And I've got a couple of testimonials from current students who did the pre-course reading, and I asked them to give a message to new students to just say how they felt about the pre-course reading and how useful it was to do it. And what they found is that by doing that, it's taken a lot of the pressure off them now that they're doing the prep course, because they're just focusing on the core concepts. The pre-course reading was all on, it was factual, kind of, remember I mentioned that the curriculum is very broad, so there are quite a few factual parts of the curriculum that aren't really core concepts, but you might be able to pick some additional marks up by knowing that information. So any more factual information, we ask students to read at home, and what we focus on in the course are the core concepts which are absolutely critical to finance and are definitely going to be examined. Because they are so fundamental to finance. So we've got some examples actually on a later slide of that. Okay, so that's all to get started. Then we've got learning through the teaching phase of the course, and we have 21 classes, including what we call success in the exam, 2 success in the exam classes. So we start the course with a success in the exam class, which is where we talk about exam technique and also some tips for using your calculators, which have to be the HP12C calculators or Texas Instruments. I think most people will use HP12C. Okay, and it could be a while since you last used your HP12C, so maybe you need some reminders. And there are certain calculations that you need to be able to perform for CFA very quickly, so we include that in the Success in the Exam class. The second Success in the Exam class is focused on preparing for the halfway there mock exam. So we do a halfway there exam after we've taught half of the content. Okay, so and then we do some practice questions to help you prepare for that. Okay, then we have practicing, and we have 7 revision classes where we go over at a high level the most important concepts, and then we just focus on doing lots of practice questions so you are ready to apply your knowledge in the exam. And then we have consolidate through practice exams, which is where you work under timed conditions, under exam conditions, to answer questions, practice exam questions of exam standard. Okay, and we give exam debrief classes as well as individual results reports to each student. The individual reports include what students need to focus on, their weaker areas as well as the stronger areas, so that you can be more effective in your studies. Okay, and in total, we have 100 hours plus the bonus classes. Approximately 5 hours in total. So methodology continued. In the classroom, we focus mainly on the conceptual material. These are the core subjects that you absolutely must know in order to be a finance professional. So they are so fundamental that although we can't really predict exactly what's going to be in the exam, but it would not be good if the exam didn't include these fundamental concepts because they are so important. So we've got capital asset pricing model, yield to maturity, net present value and IRR, internal rate of return, elasticity, LIFO and FIFO, last in, first out, and first in, first out, which are inventory valuation methods. So those are just some examples of critical concepts for the exam. And then the home study focuses on more factual reading. So for example, histograms, what is a histogram? Dow theory, auction market, structured notes, CPI bias, all of these things might or might not come up in the exam. So the exam is about knowing the core concepts very well and being able to apply them, plus knowing enough additional factual material in order to pick up some extra marks so that overall you pass the exam. And the pre-course reading focuses on this factual learning. Why do we do that? If you've done the pre-course reading and the factual learning before the course starts, then you're going to find it much easier to focus on the core concepts and what's really, really important, critical for the exam. Okay, so that's the idea behind that. Okay. This is where we as teachers can add value, making sure you understand these concepts. Okay, so I recommend you make the study plan now. Okay. Think about, this is someone at their desk on results day. Not a great quality picture anymore, but this is how I hope you will feel when you get the results. Very, very happy. Okay, the exam is not easy, as I mentioned, but it is possible. Many people do pass it. Okay, so it's really about planning. So make a study plan now. The average successful candidate spends around 300 hours studying for each exam. The course is 100 hours long, so that means at least 200 hours of studying outside the classroom. And you need to have frequent breaks and be realistic about what you want to achieve. So you need to really work out, if I start studying now, how many hours do I think I can manage per week? Is that enough? Am I going to take some vacation to catch up, to have to include more hours in my study plan? How am I going to fit in the study? Is it going to be at weekends, during the day, at night, in the morning, at lunchtime? When are you going to study? Okay, so the question is how to do this. We recommend you take the week, at least the week before the exam, off work to study. When I was studying, I used to study on Saturdays, and I studied for 8 hours on Saturdays with breaks. And then I took the week off work just before the exam, and I did lots of practice exams in that week. So print out and use your SHP Financial Training study plan. So we will send you a study plan in a follow-up email that will be sent tomorrow. Get started with pre-course reading now. So students, this is the most important thing really, students who start earlier have a higher chance of success, okay? Because there is so much material to work through. So if you are already on track, you give yourself plenty of time, the whole experience is going to be much more enjoyable and you will have a higher chance of success. Okay. And now, right now, we have plenty of time before the exam. So we are in a very good position right now. Okay. Time commitment. So sacrifices will need to be made. When I did my exam, CFA Institute sent these little postcards to students, and it said things like, it had a picture of a dog, and it said, "My dog walks himself now," and things like that. So basically, it's saying that you don't, unfortunately, also you will need to focus on this exam. It's kind of a marathon of preparation, really, and yeah, but it's like university was. We've all been to university. We have to focus on our studies as part of that. This is equivalent to a master's degree, so it's in total with the 3 levels. Okay, luckily it's broken up, so you do level 1 first, and then you do level 2, and then you do level 3, and it's only going to be temporary. So it's just a temporary sacrifice of your time. You are going to have to say no to some other social commitments, probably, in order to find the time to study, but it is important to do that. This is a little bit small, but basically what we've got here is the number of weeks before the exam across here. This is the revision phase of the course, where we suggest you do at least 100 hours of study. And then here we've got the different components of the course and also of your time, study time at home. And you just put the number of hours you're going to study into the boxes. And in total, you need to get up to 300 or 350 hours. 300 is what you should be aiming for. It could be you might want to aim for 350, and maybe you end up not studying in all of the sessions you've set aside for studying. Okay, so it builds in a bit of contingency. Okay, exam enrollment. So you need to go onto the CFA Institute website to sign up for the exams, and this is the address. There is a one-time enrollment fee of $450, and then you have exam registration fees. So you have a one-off administrative fee to become a student, and then you need to sign up separately for each exam. So the first exam, level 1, you can see here that until the 14th of March, which is only a week away, there is a fee of $650, and then the next fee, the fee moves up by $300 to $950 until the 15th of August. So I would say it really is worth signing up in the next few days in order to take advantage of this early registration fee. And what does that include? It includes ebooks of the curriculum, so the 6 volumes that we just looked at. And you have to, if you want printed versions, which I do actually recommend for people. Personally, I like to study from the printed versions. I mean, it really is a question of preference, but you might find it easier. And personally, I like them because you can flick through, you can see how much more you've got to go, and you can even if you get the ebook, you can download it onto your phone or tablet or iPad or whatever, and you can read wherever you are. So from that point of view, online is good too. But if you prefer to study with physical books, then I would go for that. Okay, because it's a small price to pay to make your life easier, and that's, I think, what you should be focusing on. Okay, so what else is included in the fee? Topic-based practice tests. So on the CFA Institute website, once you have enrolled in the exam, they will provide access to practice tests on each of the 10 topic areas in the curriculum. They will also give you a sample exam, and you get mobile app access with the above resources. So you can download an app and get access to it wherever you are. So what study materials are included? So if you do the course with us, and once you sign up with the CFA Institute, you will get all of these materials, which are enough to enable you to fully prepare for the exam. So you get the CFA program curriculum when you sign up with the CFA Institute. So that's all of the reading material that you need. You get slide packs from us, around 2,000 slides. So the slides summarize the content, and we use them for teaching. And you receive slide packs, which we work through while we're teaching, and you will just make comments on the slide packs. Okay, and they're good because they cover the most highly examined topics, the core concepts that I mentioned before. So if you really understand and can apply everything in the slides, you should pass the exam, okay, because it's the core material. Okay, we provide study guides on each topic area as well. The study guides give you guidance on what you should be reading about in your home study, and we recommend strongly that you read the material before each class. So you're prepared with questions, any questions you've got for the teachers about the material. And it also helps to keep the momentum, keep you on track. We also provide teaching phase question banks for phases 1 and 2 of the course. We split the teaching into phase 1, then we have a halfway there practice exam, and then phase 2 with the remaining material. And those questions in the question banks are on the most highly examined topics. We also provide a revision phase question bank, again with more questions on the most highly examined areas. So you will get plenty of practice questions. There are practice questions also here in the CFA program curriculum at the end of each reading. There are the topic-based tests that you get from CFA Institute online, and there are also the revision and teaching phase question banks that we provide. Okay. You will also get a halfway there and final practice exam under timed conditions delivered as part of the course. and a book of practice exams from BPP, which should be done in your final phase of revision just before the exam. So there are 3 full practice exams. Okay, and in addition, there is the CFA Institute practice exam, so plus exam from CFA Institute. Okay. Okay, so this is just a list of the pre-course reading. So study session, we've got ethics, quant, financial reporting, etc. And these are the classes that we have, which cover each part, cover the different readings that are set for pre-course reading. So we've got the reading assignment, the number. Remember, there are 58 readings in total. What we've done here is selected the readings that are going to be mostly home study or readings that we want you to look at before the course starts. Okay, you've got the importance of the reading, the title of the reading, the suggested total hours of study, and the amount of pre-course reading time to spend on those readings. Okay, so you can see in total we recommend around 25 hours of pre-course reading, and we're going to come back to some of these readings again as part of the course. Okay, and also as there will be questions on them in the revision phase, in the mock exams, the practice exams. So in total, the number of hours that you will spend on those readings is higher. Remember, this is not all readings. There are 58 readings in total. We've just selected the readings that we want you to read before the course starts. And we provide guidance on those readings through the bonus classes. And you can see the dates of them here. There are 5 bonus classes. We also provide a study guide, a getting started study guide, which tells you more about the pre-course reading and what you should be focusing on. Okay, so we will give you support with that. And because we are encouraging people to start earlier, we're actually offering those bonus classes for free. So you don't even need to sign up for the prep course in order to start the bonus classes with us. Okay, what you do need to do is sign up with CFA Institute so you get the material, because you will need the material from them to read. So just a recap, core material and the most highly examined concepts are covered on the prep course. The factual material and non-core material is set as home study. Once you sign up for the prep course, we will send this to you tomorrow for people who join this class, and if you're watching this class online, just please contact us and we will send you the study plan and getting started guide, which has more guidance on the pre-course reading. Okay, and we will support you with any questions you have. And there will be a little quiz on the pre-course reading during the first class, so come prepared. All right, 4-step approach to the reading. So we go through this during the bonus classes, but remember I said about building the skills you need in order to be effectively reading the material and applying it. And so we suggest reviewing the learning outcome statements, working through the reading, answering the questions at the end of the reading, and going back to questions you got wrong. And these are some examples of learning outcomes for one of the ethics readings. Okay, I'm not going to spend too long on this right now though. This is the program for the classes. Okay, so we've got pre-course reading to be done as soon as you start, as soon as you enroll in the CFA program. The Getting Started class, which is today, and then we go into the bonus classes, which start on the 17th of March. Okay, so not this weekend, next weekend, so very soon, because we are tying in or syncing with the early registration fee for the CFA exam. Okay, and as soon as you have signed up for the CFA exam with CFA Institute, you will get access to the CFA curriculum and you can start studying. Okay, and then we have the teaching phase, which starts on the 2nd of August after the bonus classes. And then we start to have classes every Thursday and Tuesday, or Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, here we have the halfway there mock exam once we've covered half of the content, and that first half of the content is quant, ethics, financial reporting and equity. Then we come back to do phase 2. That's phase 1 of the teaching course, and then phase 2 to finish off the material. Then we have a final mock exam here, which includes all of the material from phases 1 and 2. And we use that as a diagnostic to see how people are doing, to see what your weaker areas are. We have feedback on that, as we had feedback also on the halfway there mock exam. And then we have the revision phase, or Esta Final, which is 7 classes of review. Okay, and we just do lots and lots and lots of practice questions to make sure you're very good at applying your knowledge so you're ready for the exam. Okay. So how will we help you pass the exams? These are the 5 top tips. So resource planning is critical. So it's all about planning your studies outside the classroom, which we help you with, clearing other commitments so that you can fit in the study time you need, at least 300 hours. Focusing on the right things. So in the course we talk about the most important concepts and we make links between different topics in the syllabus. Practice. Okay, so again we do a lot of practice questions together in the classroom, and you also do practice questions at home. We also have the mock exams, practice exams. Review. So through the practice exams we help you identify where you're going wrong and why, so you can improve. And then discipline. Okay, so that's about reading the material before each class, actively joining in, participating in the classes and keeping on track. Okay. So all critical for success in the exam. So how will the course help? We've got experienced instructors, proven methodology, learn, practice, consolidate, tutor insights, tips and strategies, verbal explanations of difficult concepts. So sometimes it's easier to hear the concept or see it on the slides explained rather than reading. It's an opportunity to ask questions. The schedule of classes imposes study discipline because you need to keep up with the course. Networking opportunities with other students as well could be important to you. Access to online lectures if you miss a class. So we record the classes and they're available for a week unless we agree with you another time frame. They're available for you to watch afterwards. Study tips given during classes for home study. We give you a study plan, study notes on each topic area, which tell you what to focus on, what's most important. We send exam countdown emails, so you are always aware of how many weeks we have until the exam, how many months or how many weeks until the exam takes place. We have a WhatsApp group for students, which is usually quite active, so people asking questions, anything to do with the exam, and then a dedicated email for any questions that you have. So lots of benefits to help you prepare. Okay, so why study with us? We can help you prepare to pass the exam. All of the tutors have been through the experience, so we understand the challenge you're facing or you will face, and you're not on your own. Okay, we have guided many students through this already, and many people have the same problems, so we know how to help. We have a tried and tested learning formula. I've talked about our methodology. It works, and we really do care about what we do. Okay, so we've got the 5 free online bonus classes to help with the pre-course reading, experienced, highly qualified and trained tutors, small class sizes, which mean lots of individual attention, live online recordings, live online option, and as well as recordings gives you more flexibility, convenient location for people near Esta, and excellent value for money with all material included and small class sizes. So these were so I mentioned these before. These are current, so Elio and the next guy, João Paulo, are current students who are studying for the level 1 exam in June. And I asked them to give some comments on what they wanted to say to new students who are looking to prepare for the level 1 exam in December about doing the pre-course reading. So Elio started to read in the first week, just after the Getting Started class for the June exam, which we had in September 2017. He couldn't have done anything better. And it really is noticeable that he is finding the course easier because he doesn't need to read all of that reading that was set as pre-course reading before. He's already done it. So now he can focus on the core concepts that we cover in the classes. Okay. So he really recommends doing the reading before, okay, and he wishes everyone the best of luck. Okay. And then João Paulo had similar comments. So he joined our bonus classes, and it was strategic in the preparation for the exam. And yeah. And the guidance in the bonus classes, we gave people guidance on what they needed to focus on, what's most important for the level 1 exam, okay, to keep people on track. So he's doing very well as well in the course. So next step, increase your chances of success in the December 2018 CFA level exam by signing up now, because students who sign up earlier have a higher chance of success. All participants of this course will get a 10% discount, as I mentioned before. We also have early booking discounts available on the course, and you can contact us for more price information. And then just a reminder that you will save $300 on the CFA exam enrollment if you sign up before the 14th of March. Okay, so I think any questions? And then if you're watching this live, this recording, then please contact us for information, up-to-date information about the values. Yes, we'll be happy to hear from you. Okay, so yeah, the question is if all the classes will be recorded and if you can watch them on the day after. Yes, you can. So we record all of the classes. You will receive a link automatically to the recording, and they are available for a week after the class. Okay, and if you tell us that you can't watch for more than a week, just tell us and we can keep it for longer. But we want people to keep up with the course, which is why they are not available forever. Okay. Yeah.
The bonus classes are going to be recorded as well, or I mean online?
They will be online. Yeah, the bonus classes will be online for everyone, and they are from 10 until 11 a.m. on Saturday mornings. The first one is on the 17th of March, and they will be every month.
Because right now, I'm living in Rio. In August, I'm going to move to São Paulo.
Oh, okay. Yes. All right. Well, that's great then, because you can join the online classes, and then when you're in São Paulo, if you want to, you can come into the classroom. Yeah.
And just one more question. If I have any doubts and I'm not on the presential course, how do I solve my doubts?
Okay, so you can either send them in our WhatsApp group, or you can send them by email. And if you want to talk through them, we can talk as well on the phone. Or we can talk. So usually we always have a short break in the classes. So that's a good time to talk about any questions you have as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just one more. The
Okay.
classes are going to be taught in English? Okay.
Yeah, so most of the classes are taught in English. Sometimes, as long as the students are happy, sometimes teachers will teach in Portuguese, but most of them will be taught in English. And if we have, and if any student wants all of the classes to be in English, then we will make them all in English. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, thanks, Natalie. Yeah, thanks for the questions. Does anyone else have any questions? I can see one from Suzanne about her English. So my English is not very advanced, it's intermediate. Do you think that would be a problem? Okay, so it's probably for you. Probably for you to judge, maybe, Suzanne. So what I would say about that is that the questions are multiple choice, and you don't have to write very much until level 3 when you need to do the constructed response paper, and you will need to write then. But you need to be good at reading because there is a lot of material to read, and it could be that you might want to do another course first in English. For example, we have a Conceitos Fundamentais do Mercado Financeiro, Fundamental Financial Market Concepts, which is a short course that we have in English, and it introduces some of the key topics, core topics that are covered in the CFA exam. So maybe you might want to do another course first, just to see how that goes before you start studying for CFA. So I can send you more information about that if you would like. Okay. Does that answer your question? Caroline, do you have any questions?
No. Did you hear me? No. Everything okay?
Yes? Okay. Do you think you will go ahead with the exam, or are you still deciding?
No, I decided, and I tried in December. I get the material, but I didn't start yet.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you made a decision. That's really good. Okay.
Nice, thank you.
All right. So we'll keep in touch. Okay. And I'll send tomorrow to everyone. Okay, with next steps. All right.
All right, deal.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. See you.